and deal with those bumps in 1 and 2. I remember when we used to go there and test, like we'd go out to Vegas before the season and spend 2 days testing. We would go there, and then you'd get there to practice, and you'd practice on Friday all day, practice on Saturday all day, and you were still not happy with how the car got through the bumps.
The NASCAR world is in turmoil. Practice sessions, once a cornerstone of race preparation, have been reduced to mere minutes. International drivers struggle. Teams face mounting pressure, and right in the middle of it all stands Dale Earnhardt Jr., ready to call out what nobody else will. NASCAR's practice schedule underwent dramatic changes during COVID-19. Before the pandemic, drivers had ample time to prepare. They used both Friday and Saturday for lengthy practice sessions. These sessions prove vital for acclimating to the unique demands of each track, from superspeedways to road courses. Then COVID-19 hit. NASCAR eliminated practice sessions entirely before gradually reintroducing them in a heavily reduced format. The post-COVID era has seen practice times limited to just 20 to 25 minutes. Early 2024 brought even further reductions, sparking widespread criticism from teams and drivers alike. The 2025 season has seen marginal improvements. Teams now receive 25 minutes of practice before time trials. Phoenix received an exception with 45 minutes of practice time. But as recent events have shown, even this extended time isn't enough for newcomers to adapt. Right now, it just feels like it's broken a little bit, said journalist Jeff Gluck following Katherine Legge's disastrous Phoenix debut. The 2025 season witnessed several international motorsport stars making their NASCAR debuts. The results? Nothing short of chaotic. During February's Daytona 500, IndyCar legend Helio Castroneves faced immediate trouble. On lap 71, Ross Chastain tagged the four-time Indy 500 champion, sending Castroneves into a multi-car wreck that ended his day. More recently, British racing veteran Katherine Legge faced an even more challenging debut at Phoenix. Despite her extensive racing resume spanning IndyCar, Formula E, and sports cars, Legge's stock car experience was limited to just 4 Xfinity Series starts and 1 problematic ARCA appearance before the Shriners Children 400. Her preparation? Some simulator time and driving a car in pit practice. With such minimal real-world experience in a cup car, the results were predictable. Legge spun out on lap 4, managed to recover, but later spun again on lap 215, collecting Daniel Suarez's number. 99 Chevrolet in a devastating crash. Suarez was running in 6th place at the time. After the race, Legge was candid about her experience. My goal was to finish, and that didn't happen, and I don't like not achieving the things I set out to achieve. I was embarrassed by the way that it ended because I made a mistake, and nobody likes to make mistakes. It was not my best work, let's say. She elaborated further in an interview with Racer. I was giving everybody so much room and so much respect and trying to do everything right, and that mistakes obviously got me a lot of negative attention. In a recent episode of his podcast, The Dale Jr. Download, Dale Earnhardt Jr. did what he does best. He spoke his mind without filter. He said,
"But it'll be, you know what? I'm gonna predict something right here. My prediction is in 2 years, we're practicing."
He didn't stop there. Dale Jr. outlined precisely what he believes NASCAR should implement. I think if the teams just got a solid hour, they could bust that up into 30 minutes. I think the best case scenario would be for the cars to show up, maybe get 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and go right into qualifying, and then they would have a post-qualifying practice that would be anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. So you get like a happy hour. Then came his most definitive statement. This prediction stands in stark contrast to NASCAR's current trajectory. While the sanctioning body has made minor adjustments for 2025, they've shown no indication of returning to the extended practice formats that Dale Jr. advocates for. Dale Jr. isn't alone in his stance. Several active Cup Series drivers have expressed similar sentiments, particularly after witnessing Katherine Legge's struggles at Phoenix. Daniel Suarez, whose race ended prematurely due to the crash with Legge, voiced his frustration afterward. While clearly disappointed, he directed his criticism not at Legge, but at NASCAR's system. Joey Logano, the 2024 Cup Series champion, echoed these sentiments, saying, "If you've never driven a stock car, Should you just jump in a Cup car with 20 minutes of practice and line up and race? The answer, based on recent events, appears to be a resounding no. Katherine Legge's difficult debut highlighted what many international drivers discover when transitioning to NASCAR. This isn't just another racing series, it's a completely different beast. Legge described her Cup Series experience as a completely different world. Despite her extensive background in various racing disciplines, NASCAR presented unique challenges that her previous experience couldn't prepare her for. Legge said, "I love it. I think there is nothing else like it on the planet. It's a different sport in a way. There are so many things you don't experience in any other form of racing." She pointed out specific differences between NASCAR and other racing formats. Everybody is at 110% all the time. They all seem to crash into each other a lot. I just think everybody is on the edge, and I think they will have to develop this mutual respect for each other. Legge even dismissed the notion that Xfinity Series experience would have adequately prepared her for Cup racing. "I'm sorry, but the Xfinity car does not drive like the Cup car." Her observations align with comments from other international racing stars who have attempted the NASCAR transition. F1 champion Jenson Button called the Cup Series talent level insane after competing at COTA, emphasizing the physical and mental demands of stock car racing. Kimi Räikkönen similarly noted that despite being able to maintain competitive pace, the chaos of restarts and aggressive driving presented formidable obstacles. He said, "You can be in a great position one moment, then 3 corners later, someone's going the wrong direction and your race is ruined. It's just a different world." Even NASCAR champion Kyle Larson, known for his versatility across racing disciplines, acknowledged challenges when transitioning to IndyCar. He said, "I have a whole new level of respect for these guys." Dale Earnhardt Jr. didn't hesitate to call out top drivers like Chase Elliott and Denny Hamlin for their reluctance to support additional practice time. He acknowledged their perspective. "I understand why they're like, yes, more practice ain't going to change for me." However, Dale Jr. emphasized that while top teams might see minimal benefits, drivers from smaller operations have much more to gain. He specifically mentioned Noah Gragson of Front Row Motorsports as someone who might really improve their car quite a bit with extended practice time. This creates a clear divide in the garage. Established stars with well-funded teams have little incentive to push for more practice. Meanwhile, newcomers and underfunded teams desperately need that track time to close the competitive gap. Veteran reporters Jordan Bianchi and Jeff Gluck have added their voices to the growing chorus calling for more practice time. On their podcast, The Teardown, Bianchi stated, "There are a lot of reasons to cut costs in NASCAR. Actually, cutting practice isn't one of them, and from a lot of people I've talked to, they're not really saving that much money, if at all." Gluck agreed with this assessment and added an important point about driver development. Simply forcing newcomers like Legge to work their way up through the lower tiers before reaching Cup isn't a feasible solution.